What would you do? If the man who laughed at your mother's job ended up begging for your help? A beat of silence. Then, the low hum of vacuum cleaners' footsteps echoing on marble. We see Martha Jackson, a black cleaning lady in her 50s, pushing her trolley past expensive perfumes and polished shoes. Her reflection shines in the glass walls, small, tired, yet dignified. Every wipe of her cloth feels like she's erasing herself from sight. Guests pass without a glance. To them, she's invisible. But tonight, she's about to be noticed. Not for her uniform, but for something far greater. While his mother cleaned floors, he cleaned his mind. Eli Jackson, 16, dark-skinned, neatly dressed in a school uniform that's a size too small. He's reading a worn-out book, pages scribbled with notes in different scripts: Arabic, French, Mandarin, Italian. Guests stroll by, businessmen, diplomats, tourists, speaking in tongues he already understands. He listens without staring, repeating sentences under his breath, copying accents. A bellboy whispers, "That's the cleaner's boy again." Another replies, "He's harmless," just likes pretending he's smart. But what they don't know is that Eli never pretended. He was born with a gift, one he learned to hide. Camera pans to the elevator doors sliding open. Kareem Al-Hassan, mid-40s, strides in. White suit, gold watch, eyes sharp as a hawk. The kind of man who measures worth in carat and currency. He stops mid-step, spotting Eli reading. His brow furrows. "Whose boy is this?" he asks coldly. Receptionist. "Sir, that's Mrs. Jackson's son." "The cleaning lady." A chuckle escapes Kareem's lips. "Ah, the cleaner brings her assistant now?" The staff laugh nervously. Eli lowers his book, eyes calm, almost disarming. Kareem walks closer. "Tell me, little one, do you like sitting here, among men who work for their place in life?" Eli looks up, steady, respectful. "Yes, sir. It's peaceful here, and I like to read." Kareem smirks, noticing the Arabic script. "You, reading Arabic? Can you even understand a word of it?" Kareem bursts into laughter, loud, echoing, arrogant. His voice bounces off marble columns. People glance, staff look away. Martha freezes mid-swipe, heart pounding. Narrator, somber tone. That laughter wasn't just at a boy. It was at his mother's years of struggle. At every dream the world told her she didn't deserve. Kareem waves his hand mockingly. "Go ahead, boy. Read something. Let's hear your Arabic. Entertain me." Eli closes his eyes for a moment, not in fear but focus. When he speaks, his voice slices through the air like silk. Eli begins reciting, وَإِذَا كَانَتِ النُّفُوسُ كِبَارًا تَعِبَتْ فِي مُرَادِهَا الْأَجْسَامُ. And when souls are noble, the body tires in their pursuit. Perfect pronunciation, perfect rhythm. The lobby stops moving. Even the fountain's sound feels quieter. Kareem blinks, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. "Who taught you that?" Eli, "No one. I just listened." "People speak." "I remember." The camera cuts to Martha, tears glimmering in her eyes as she hides behind her mop, pretending not to look. This isn't pride yet. It's fear. Fear her son's brilliance might offend the wrong man. Kareem crosses his arms, forcing another laugh. "So, you memorized a few lines? Congratulations, boy. You can perform." Eli closes his book slowly, looks straight into Kareem's eyes, calm, unwavering. Then he says softly, "I didn't memorize it. I speak Arabic. And 8 more languages." Kareem's smirk falters. "What did you say?" Eli switches effortlessly into French. "Je parle 9 langues." "Monsieur?" Then Italian. "Parlo 9 lingue." "Signore." Then back to Arabic. وأنا أتكلم 9 لغات يا سيدي. Each word lands like thunder in a silent room. The receptionist drops her pen. Martha's hands tremble on the mop handle. Kareem's mouth opens. No sound. Eli places the book on the table. "Would you like me to switch languages again?" Sometimes the loudest voice in the room belongs to the quietest person. The man who laughed at the cleaner's son had no idea the world was about to turn upside down. Camera pans over the quiet hotel lobby after Eli's revelation. Some people use money to prove their worth. Others just open their mouths. Kareem sits speechless, his reflection trembling in the glass wall behind him. For the first time, he has no comeback. Eli's words hang in the air, gentle but unshakable. The guests whisper. The staff exchange looks. The boy who was once invisible has become the center of the universe. Kareem leans forward, trying to mask his unease with arrogance. You claim to speak 9 languages. Prove it. Eli nods slightly. Then, one by one, he begins. French, Italian, Mandarin, Russian, Swahili, Spanish, Arabic. Each accent perfect, tone natural, rhythm flawless. The hotel manager, once smirking, now stands frozen. Even Martha stops pretending to clean. Her eyes glisten with pride and disbelief. Kareem forces a smile, hiding a bruise on his ego. Impressive for a janitor's son. But speaking words is easy. Understanding meaning, that's another world. He flips open his phone and calls for a document, an ancient Arabic poem known for its complex metaphors. Translate this, he orders, handing the paper to Eli. The boy scans it briefly, his lips moving silently. Then, in English, he begins translating with precision, explaining not just the words, but the emotion behind them. This line, Eli says softly, means the heart sees what the eyes refuse to notice. The lobby falls silent again. Kareem's confident posture slips for just a second, because those words, though centuries old, feel like they're aimed right at him. Martha finally speaks up, her voice trembling. Sir, my boy just listens. He learns everything he hears. I can't explain it. Kareem looks at her, for the first time actually seeing her face. He notices the wrinkles from exhaustion, the calloused hands from years of labor, the tired but unbroken dignity in her eyes.
You mean?
He never went to any school? Only the one I could afford, she replies. The world. Flashback visuals fill the screen. Little Eli sitting outside classrooms, eavesdropping on foreign teachers. Eli in the back of buses repeating phrases from tourists. Eli cleaning tables in cafes, listening to podcasts on broken headphones. The world was his classroom, and every stranger his teacher. Kareem tries to recover his superiority. You're talented, boy, but talent without money is like a bird with no wings. Eli looks up. Maybe, but birds don't need gold to fly. A low murmur moves through the lobby, a mix of shock and admiration. Even Kareem feels something stir in his chest, a feeling he hasn't felt in years, respect. But pride is a stubborn thing. He straightens up, clears his throat, and says, Fine, let's see how far your wings can carry you. Next morning, Martha and Eli are called to Kareem's office, a glass room overlooking the skyline, sunlight spilling over stacks of paperwork. Kareem sits behind his mahogany desk. I've been thinking, he says coolly. This boy's potential shouldn't be wasted. I'll sponsor his education. Full scholarship. Private academy? Martha is stunned. Her eyes fill instantly. But before she can thank him, he adds, on one condition, he must live at the school. No distractions, no. Cleaner influence. The words cut deep, even when wrapped in generosity. Martha stands frozen. Eli's fists tighten. The room feels colder than ever. Sometimes kindness comes dressed as control, and even opportunities can sting. That night, mother and son sit at the bus stop under the orange glow of a flickering streetlight. Neither speaks for a long time. Finally, Martha whispers, Maybe he's right, Eli. Maybe you need his world to grow. Eli shakes his head. I don't want to leave you. You'll never leave me, she says softly. You'll just fly higher and make sure they see where you came from. He looks out at the city skyline, the same towers where his mother scrubs floors every night. And he says quietly, almost to himself, one day, he'll need me. And when that day comes, I'll be ready. Camera zooms in on Eli's face, half in shadow, half in light. The bus drives away. The boy who spoke 9 languages had just learned his first lesson in power. Some invitations are wrapped in gold, others in arrogance. Eli and Martha are called once more to Kareem's office, but this time the air feels heavier. Kareem sits behind his desk, flanked by 2 executives, a contract folder in front of him. He speaks like a man offering a kingdom. Eli, he says, smiling faintly, you're a rare mind. I'm willing to pay for your full education. Overseas, private tutors, everything. But you'll represent me. Martha's hands shake slightly. Represent you? Yes, Kareem continues. You'll study under my name, my sponsorship, my brand. You'll become my success story. The words sound generous. But behind them hides something colder. Ownership. For some men, kindness is just another form of control. Later that night, Martha and Eli sit at their kitchen table, the same wobbly one held together with tape. The contract lies open between them. The paper glows under a single bulb, like a deal with destiny. If I sign this, Martha whispers, you'll get the world you deserve. Eli shakes his head. If I sign it, I'll lose the world you gave me. The wind howls outside. The clock ticks. The mother looks at her son, the same little boy who used to sleep beside her cleaning bucket when she worked overnight shifts. Eli, she says softly, maybe the only way to teach men like him is to let them see how high we can rise, she signs. Her hand trembles. Eli places his hand over hers, silently promising, I'll make this count. He entered a world where chandeliers replaced streetlights, and names weighed more than hearts. Eli arrives at the Al-Hassan International Academy. Students wear tailored uniforms. They drive to school in black cars. Their laughter echoes with entitlement. He walks through marble halls filled with portraits of Kareem's ancestors, each one looking down as if judging him. A student sneers. The scholarship kid. Sponsored by the boss himself. Eli doesn't respond. He simply opens his notebook, filled with languages no one there could even read. But every whisper, every smirk, every insult was another word in the silent dictionary of his revenge. A week later, Kareem visits the academy for an inspection. In the grand hall, students perform presentations in multiple languages. Eli's name is called. He walks up calmly, his mother's worn pendant around his neck. Translate this, Kareem commands, handing him a contract written in French, Mandarin, and Arabic legal code. Eli glances at it once. Then, without looking down, recites the full translation, line by line, in perfect English. The audience gasps. Even Kareem's executives exchange stunned glances. Eli finishes, looks straight at Kareem, and says, You asked me to speak for you, sir. But one day, I'll speak to you, and you'll finally listen. A chill moves through the room. Kareem smiles faintly, but his eyes narrow. Be careful, boy. Ambition sounds a lot like disrespect. Months later, Kareem hosts a grand gala at the hotel. Foreign investors, politicians, ambassadors, music, laughter, flashing lights. Eli, now older, sharper, stands quietly near the bar, translating conversations for guests. His posture is calm, but his eyes are calculating. A European investor mistakes him for a waiter and snaps. More champagne, boy? Eli pours the glass, smiling gently, but then replies in perfect French, The language you speak. It deserves better words. The man freezes, embarrassed. Kareem notices. He chuckles, not cruelly this time, but with a flicker of admiration. Power was shifting, slowly, invisibly, from the man who owned the building to the boy who owned the room. After the party, Eli finds Kareem alone on the balcony, staring at the skyline. The wind hums softly through the city lights. You've impressed everyone tonight, Kareem admits. Maybe even me. Maybe? Eli smiles faintly. Then I still have work to do. Kareem turns to him. Just remember who gave you this chance. Eli looks out at the horizon, where his mother's neighborhood still glows faintly in the distance. Oh, I'll remember everything, sir. Every word, every laugh, every floor my mother ever cleaned. He walks away, leaving Kareem standing in silence. For the first time, the millionaire feels something unfamiliar, unease. The boy he once mocked was becoming the man he couldn't ignore. Time has a way of flipping pages. And people, years have passed. Eli is now a man, tall, composed, speaking at international forums. He's no longer the cleaner's son. He's Eli Jackson, the world's youngest simultaneous interpreter. Fluent in 9 global languages, Cameras flash as he interprets between presidents, diplomats, and CEOs. His calm voice bridges nations. Each word feels like poetry, measured, precise, powerful. And behind that quiet smile lies a memory of laughter echoing across a hotel lobby. His company, once a titan of Middle Eastern trade, is crumbling. A billion-dollar deal with a European conglomerate is collapsing over mistranslated contracts and cultural misunderstandings. An executive pleads, "Sir, we need an interpreter who understands their tone, not just their words. We're losing millions by the minute." Kareem slams the table. "Find me the best." "I don't care what it cost." Irony glimmers in the silence, because the world's best interpreter is someone whose name he already knows. A week later in Geneva, Eli finishes a UN session when his assistant hands him a phone. "It's a private call, sir. From Dubai." "Urgent," he answers calmly. "Mr. Jackson, this is Kareem Al-Hassan's office. He requests your presence as chief interpreter for a critical negotiation. You'll be well compensated." A pause. Eli's expression doesn't change, but his silence says everything. Narrator, deep, steady tone. "The world has a sense of humor. It always brings you back to the people who once tried to break you." Eli finally responds. "Tell him, I accept." He hears footsteps, turns. Eli walks in, poised, confident, wearing a charcoal suit. No arrogance, no revenge, just quiet authority. Kareem freezes. His lips part, disbelief written all over his face. "It's you." Eli smiles faintly. "Good evening, Mr. Al-Hassan. I'll be interpreting for you today." In that single moment, a decade of pride collapsed, without a single word of insult. Kareem tries to regain composure. You look different." "Success does that to people," Eli replies. "So does respect." Inside the negotiation room, tension crackles like electricity. European investors sit across from Kareem, documents in hand, eyes cold. Eli stands between them, translating every word flawlessly. His voice calm, neutral, balanced, never betraying emotion. Yet every sentence carries poetic justice. At one point, an investor says in French, "Men who underestimate others never understand partnership." Eli translates it slowly, looking directly at Kareem as he speaks the English version. Kareem swallows hard. Every word is a mirror, every phrase a reminder. When the meeting ends, the deal is saved. Kareem shakes hands, smiling weakly, but his eyes glisten with something he hasn't felt in years: humility. After the meeting, Kareem approaches Eli in private. The once proud man now struggles to speak. "Eli, I owe you my company. My name, my respect." Eli listens quietly. "You owe me nothing, sir," he says. "You owe it to yourself, to be the man you could have been." A pause. Then Eli adds gently, "Do you still think cleaning ladies raise fools?" Kareem's eyes fill. His voice cracks. "No, they raise kings." The two stand in silence, the air thick with redemption and regret. No revenge, no gloating, just understanding. And in that silence, the world turned right again. Months have passed since that meeting. Eli's career continues to soar, now an international consultant in cultural communication. His story has quietly become a legend in diplomatic circles. But one morning, his assistant enters his office holding an envelope. "Sir, it's from Mr. Kareem Al-Hassan." Eli opens it. Inside is a handwritten letter. No assistants, no lawyers, no pride. Just words, sincere and trembling. "I am leaving for Ghana to open a school in your mother's name. I want to make things right. If not for me, then for the woman who taught the world humility through her son." Eli sits silently. A tear rolls down, a knot of sadness but gratitude. "He finally learned the right language," Eli whispers. "The language of the heart." Ghana, a village bathed in morning light. Children in uniforms laugh under mango trees. A new school stands tall. Its sign reads, "The Martha Jackson Institute of Languages." Cars pull up. Eli steps out, dignified, moved. Villagers gather, smiling. and among them, a humbled Kareem. He's no longer the man in white suits. He wears simple linen. No gold watch, no arrogance. Just a quiet man with eyes full of remorse. He walks toward Eli slowly, then stops. "I didn't know how to say sorry," he says, "so I built something that could speak it for me." Eli looks at the school filled with laughter and hope. "You didn't have to do this." "I did," Kareem replies, "because I once laughed at a boy who could speak 9 languages. And now I want 1,000 children to learn 10. Inside the school, bright murals, maps, children greeting each other in multiple languages. Eli walks through the corridors, listening. English, French, Arabic, Swahili, Mandarin. A symphony of voices, young, pure, full of curiosity. He stops near a classroom where a little girl reads aloud in Arabic. Her accent is flawless. The teacher smiles. Eli closes his eyes, remembering that night in the hotel lobby. It was as if time itself had come back to kneel before the woman who once cleaned its floors. Martha's photo hangs at the school entrance, smiling, eternal. Underneath it, she believed every child could shine, if someone just looked close enough. Later that evening, airport runway, private plane waiting. Kareem and Eli stand together. Kareem: "I used to think wealth was about power, but now I see it's about what we leave behind." Eli smiles softly. "We all speak different languages, Kareem, but the only one that matters is kindness." Kareem's eyes glisten. He extends his hand. "You've given me back my soul, Eli." Eli shakes his hand. "And you gave my mother her respect." They part with a quiet nod. No speeches, no drama. Just 2 men, once enemies, now connected by truth. As Eli boards the flight, the camera pans up to the sky, 2 contrails crossing like signatures of fate. Some stories don't end with revenge. They end with redemption. Weeks later, United Nations headquarters, New York. Eli stands before a global audience, giving a keynote on empathy and communication. Behind him, a world map glows softly. "When we listen to others, truly listen, we begin to erase the borders drawn by ignorance. My mother once mopped floors under men who never saw her worth. Today, children study her name. That is humanity's real translation." The audience rises in applause, a standing ovation. Somewhere in the crowd, an old man watches on screen. Kareem, smiling with peace in his eyes. The school expanding, children learning, Eli mentoring, Martha's voice echoing softly. From the echo of a cruel laugh to the harmony of 9 languages, a mother's love built a bridge no arrogance could ever burn. Final scene. Eli standing under the school's sign, wind rustling the trees. He looks at the sky and whispers, "We did it, Mom." Camera pulls up. The laughter of children fills the air.